Hi, everyone, and welcome to 21 Days of Mindful Intentional Focus, Day 18, Courage. Today, Crystal's going to walk us through a mindful activity that we can do in those times where things may be scary or we're frightened about doing something. Like we all have those moments. It's quite normal. And, we're going to be resilient. Another power word that we learned a few days ago. And we're going to walk through these scary, frightening things to continue to move forward. Crystal?
Thank you, Celeste. So our word is courage. So this is kind of a journal writing prompt activity. So when you think about a time when you displayed courage and it was a positive experience for you. So when was a time that you displayed courage and it turned out to be a positive experience? So we'll kind of answer that question as you think about your answer. Um, Let me think. When there's a time when I displayed courage and it turned out to be positive, um, definitely, childbirth. That's giving. I had to, my first child, not knowing what to expect, and okay, I had to be brave. That courage rise up in me to, I can do this. I got it. Positive self talk before I was even a counselor, right? All of that came into play, and then it, you know, turned out to be a positive experience. Of course, I had a beautiful child, I have two children, so that was my courageous experience, being able to go through childbirth and experience that. So, Celeste.
Yeah, one thing I can tell you, I'm glad that you said that too. Like you must remind yourself of those times where you were able to, get through something. And this is, courage we're talking about. But even in, a challenge like going back to school, if you passed high school, you got a diploma. If you got an associate's degree, then of course you can achieve, a bachelor's degree or a master's degree. In a nutshell, that was some things I was going through, like, oh my God, how it's so scary, a master's. But anyway, long story short, check the block on all of those, and you're able to get through those things. But you do have to remind yourself, you do have to, be your cheerleader and think of those times. Okay, so now we're talking about courage. I didn't learn how to swim until I was 28 years old. Living in Miami, surrounded by water, I was so terrified of it. Like my fear was, drowning. And so it wasn't until I was 28 years old. And I mean, I had to be walked through that thing. Like, like the instructor had to teach me, the water is your friend. It doesn't want to hurt you. It wants to bring you up. You're only going to drown if you panic. But when you're relaxed, da, 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 like we had to go through that for like 2 weeks before I would even get in the water. Anyway, long story short, I was sitting at the bottom of a pool, something that I would never do, but because, I had to talk myself through it, had a conversation with someone, was like, hey, I believe in you. You can do this. Like, you don't have to be afraid. And so, if that's your story, it's something that you want to do, I would encourage you to find someone that's going to be your cheerleader, not someone that's going to talk you out of it. And if you courage through one thing, you can courage through another thing. That's all I have to say about that, Crystal.
That was good. Good, Celeste. So we hope that you are encouraged with our word courage today, and that you find that even in your darkest moments or you feel like you're at the bottom, I always say the only way is up.
Right.
We've all been at that low place, and we're just here to, help you to learn mindful tips, how to focus on strengths that you have, like these words, we're mindful, intentional focus. We're focusing on the positive things in our life. We're being mindful of those positive things. So, thank you for joining us for day 18 of Courage, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.